All right, 5-Night Gamers, welcome back to Dragon Ball Legends Podcast, episode 34, scheduled for releasement. Today, I am joined by Bradical.
What up?
I am joined by Swift.
Yo, yo.
We have ZVG in the house.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
And a second time on the podcast, Iron Kane. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Hope everybody's doing well.
Well, me too. And as always, before we start, make sure to check out all our other social media platforms. Consider leaving a like on this video and subscribing to the channel. Follow us on Twitter for all updates. Follow us on Twitch for a lot of live entertaining content. Twitch Prime is not a crime. And with that said, today's topics, well, the game is a little dry, but we want to talk about S-League for TOP. We want to talk about the new co-op mode. We have a 3 weeks PvP season coming up. You saw that notice in the news about the anti-cheat system. And of course, the play of the week. We want to show you the winner of last week as well as the new submissions. And with that said, let's jump into the first topic, which is the TOP full season 1. So the preseasons are over. Swift, which league are you in and how are you liking TOP at this point?
So I am currently in A League, hopefully scheduled to upgrade to S next season. And I was kind of one of the guys in the beginning. I was a little skeptical. I wasn't really a big fan of TOP. And now, slowly as I've been starting to, read the kits and develop strategy and whatnot, I've actually been liking it a lot more recently. I am currently using a regen team. And I got to say, one of the nice things about regen is obviously they recharge their health all the time, which helps in TOP a lot. But yeah, I've been liking it. Currently ranked, I think like 2000 or something like that in A League. But yeah, it's regen's been working very well for me. Like I said, a lot of the units recharge their health after every battle or, after every turn or whatnot. So yeah, I've been liking it. It's doing pretty good. Hopefully, like I said, go to S next season. What are your guys' thoughts?
So for me, I am currently in S League, and I have to say I am walking on a razor's edge right now, which is why I'm really excited about this mode, because this is actually challenging. This is the first time where I won't be able to just walk through it easily and just, kill everything without having to heal. I remember in the first preseason, I think I used 2 or 3 healing tiles because I didn't know how much damage I would be receiving. Now we've kind of found our groove with the preseasons over and everything. And it's actually tough. Like my Bootangs, I need to save him. He's at 11% HP. And I think my yellow DKP is also, my purple DKP is also almost dead. So I'm also running regen. Currently ranked 19th, but I'm guessing that's going to change soon. And yeah, I mean, I really like this mode. So when it's pretty much 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. for me when the stamina resets. So whenever I wake up in the morning, I'm like, all right, let me see what I can do this time. And yeah, I'm having fun. I am dreading Z League a little bit. And yeah, what are your guys' strategies for this season?
Don't play it.
So I've noticed.
Yeah, I've been playing it, but like I haven't really been going in. I'm in B League because I literally like didn't play last season and I dropped down, but then I got back up to B League. So I get to A League next time. I mean, it's not like it's like super hard or anything. It's just kind of I'm using a bunch of Zenkai Saiyans and they're doing all right.
The one thing I've noticed is I can already tell. So like I said, I'm not in S League. I am in A League, so I don't have the highest difficulty fights, but. The one thing I've noticed is healing units are super important because obviously it's basically a marathon. You got all these battles and you don't want to use the healing spaces unless you absolutely need them. So if you have units on your team that can heal up either themselves or allies, it is very important. So I think as we move on and keep going into higher leagues and whatnot, I think these units that either heal themselves or heal allies are going to be super important.
Yeah, and one thing about the healing... Sorry, go ahead, Aaron. You first.
Yeah, I was just going to say for me with TOP, I think I'm around the same spot as you, Swift, like A League, like the same amount of points and whatnot. I think the mode isn't necessarily typical. I think the problem with the mode is that they don't really explain enough to you, really. Like,
yeah,
I didn't know that you could select characters, which ones you want to attack first. I didn't know every characters had like such intricate kits for this mode. I didn't think they were going to go that in depth with that, but they did. And it's just like, is the strat still to like kind of let yourself die, or should you actually even bother with the healing spaces?
I think you should actually do that, like heal.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think the whole strategy with letting yourself die, that was in the beginning in the preseason when we were obviously like in C and B League. And I think the whole thing with that was before we found out that you get a maximum or not a max, you get like a really big boost of points if you like win a bunch of games in a row. So
Huh.
I think over time we're just all kind of finding out more and more about this mode. And I agree with you very strongly. They didn't explain a lot of things, and that was kind of my problem in the beginning. I didn't really know what was going on. I kind of relied on like my fellow 5-9 coworkers here and some guide videos on YouTube to really learn about this. Like I definitely agree they did not explain a lot of this stuff. So definitely wish there was some more explanation. But yeah, I'm starting to really like TOP. There's actually some strategy behind it, and you got to read all the kits and figure out the attacking order and whatnot. It's definitely some more gameplay there than I thought there was.
One thing I want to mention is I noticed how Palm said he's dreading the Z League, and Palm is kind of like a whale. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a free-to-play player trying to, because TOP, Palm, it gets harder every league, right? I feel like the TOP mode is just built for whales. I don't know if it's just me, but personally, I just feel like it's built for whales because one, you need these Zenkais and all these teams and shit. Then you're gonna need like different teams for different seasons and whatever. And I just feel like the whale just have an innate advantage in general when it comes to it, because the team building isn't really, mind blown or anything. It's just one tag, the highest tag that gives you the most points. You put that team together and go in. It's just, I don't know. I like the strategy part of it, but the fact of the matter is that the whales just have a bigger advantage in general because they're gonna have more teams, higher stars, more Zenkais.
Yep.
And the harder the leagues get, the harder it's gonna be for other players to like catch up to like the whales and stuff. So
I mean, especially.
No, I agree.
Especially think about it this way. Like, let's say you're Azdeek, who is free to play, right? Free to play God. But let's say you have like 2 or 3 tags fully built out, and then there's like, I don't know, 7, 8 main tags that you don't really, care about. And you get lucky and you go all the way to the highest league because all your tags are going to be relevant. And then all of a sudden you have no tag that you can use in the next season. You're just gonna, shit out of luck. You're just going to fall back down into like S League, A League, whatever it is.
Yeah,
so that's kind of rough.
Happened to me because I think it was the last season or whatever. It was like
Androids.
Movie units. It was some movie unit. The season where they had the movie units and shit. Like my movie team was literally full of like 2-star units, bro. Like I literally could not do anything. Like my whole team was getting destroyed. But one thing I would say, the healing units, as Swift said, are very important, bro. Like Green Cell is amazing. Bootanks is also pretty freaking good in TOP. I would say
shield.
TOP, like he's literally a beast. But in PvP, we all know that he's trash. But I like how in TOP they make certain units really good, so you can use those units in other areas of the game. So I really like that. But the core concept of TOP is not, it's good, but like I feel like it's just in the long run it's not gonna be something that people are gonna perceive as like a great mode,
I mean, I think that's kind of a matter of taste as well, because I remember also Nas says you just click a bunch of buttons and you're out. I kind of like the strategy aspect behind it. But to circle back, 2 things that you mentioned earlier, Swift. One thing is the consecutive win bonus that you get. And you need to consider that there's 25 spaces that you can navigate, like 25 vertical spaces until you reach the last boss. And every 5 spaces, you get like a massive boost in your consecutive win bonus. Because the first 4 fights, you get like 2%. The first fight, you get nothing because it's not consecutive. But then the next 3 after that, you get 2%. For the 5th one, you get 20%. Then it goes back down to 5%. But for the 5th one after that, you get 50%, I believe. And the last one gives you like 150 or 200%. So make sure that you really think hard whether you want to use those healing tiles. And personally, if you're a whale or if you have the 2 tags, because right now the 2 tags that are, I think, relevant are hybrids and regen. At least those are the ones that I see at the top. And personally, I think I would prefer using the team swap, the yellow space, and just swap out the entire team for the other tag, right? Because this yellow space kind of averages out all your HP, revives the ones that are dead, which means most of your units probably gonna have lower HP than before, but you can switch out units as much as you like. You can switch out equipment, so why not just, use like a full HP fully built team that is as viable as the previous one, and then just move on from there with a fully healed team, and you don't need to use any of those tiles anymore.
That's actually a really good point. So if you happen to have like you said, usually there's like 2 very good teams like in tier 1 and tier 2. If you use that first team, halfway through, and then you want to swap to the second team, and then I'm assuming when you bring in that second team, they all come in with full health. So yeah, that's actually a very good strategy.
One thing I want to mention real quick, I made a tweet about this. So you know how the TOP is like in its official first season, right? And they've deadass made no changes from the preseason, and the Palms made a counter tweet to me saying that they can't make any changes because the new season happened that quick. But at the same time, at least give us a heads up, like we hear your feedback, this and that. Now I know that they've made a couple changes to TOP, like the win streak thing now and whatever else they added, but the energy and all the other things that people have been talking about, just they haven't really made any changes to that from the preseason, and I feel like that's kind of stupid to me. Like, it's just, well, I want to know what you guys think on it, because Palms already gave his opinion on Twitter.
I mean, I want to see changes, but at the same time, I mean, they established kind of what it is. I don't know what other kind of changes we could really see. That's the thing, just breaking it down. I mean, besides unit changes on their Z ability, quote unquote, obviously it's just a TOP Z ability, like adding a couple more of those. Difficulty, what else could we really add to it? I don't know. I think they're more talking about like rewards and stuff like that, I would imagine. Maybe how the leagues are structured and whatnot, how many leagues there are, whatever else.
I guess the main concern would be just how fast you can do it. Like ZBG said, the energy, but kind of like Brad said, they already kind of set it up, and the thing is, like Palmsor said, there's 25 spaces, so they've already kind of calculated how long it should take you to finish, and you have this amount of energy per refreshes every 8 or 12 hours or whatever. So they already have all this stuff calculated. I agree. I would like to see faster energy restoration. So right now you really only do it 2 times a day, if that.
Yeah, 2.
I would like to see where you can do it 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. But like Brad said, everything's already been calculated. Everything's already been laid out for us, and for them to change that, it would probably be they would honestly probably have to restructure the entire thing. But yeah, I don't know. I do agree. I would like to see some type of community outreach. We saw in the last video and stuff, they hired these new social media directors, those 2 females, I can't remember their names, but yeah, I mean, I agree. I would like to see some type of community outreach. We hear your cries, maybe we'll try and fix something in the future, blah blah blah. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, this TOP is definitely growing on me, and yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I have to say, there are some things they can do. Like, let's say if they wanted to do, let's say, twice the energy a day, if you want to have for every 6 hours, just make the map twice as long, right? It's not that hard.
Yeah,
the only
that's
thing,
true.
The only
That's
thing
very
that
true.
you then would have to do is either your opponents deal half the damage, right? Because otherwise you won't get through. Or it has to be probably be possible to get through it without healing. Or, I don't know, add some other strategies. They could also add something, I mean, this mode is almost like Dokkan. They could add support items if they wanted to. Not equipments, but something like a Sensu Bean, or I don't know, whatever, something that buffs your damage by 20% for 1 turn. Whatever you want to do. So I feel like this could also be something that could change. However, I also do agree with ZVG that, and also what you just said, Swift, is that at least they should acknowledge some stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think that if they acknowledge it, it will also raise certain expectations with a lot of people where they're like, okay, they said that they see it, so it changes tomorrow, which is not happening. It's like, I think that's just
very true.
A lot of people might just not know, like how long it takes to actually develop, test, balance, test it again, and release it. So they might rather just try and fly under the radar. But yeah, I hope to see some more changes, like switching it up a little bit in the future as well. I think on my tweet I said maybe they have something cooked up for anniversary. I don't know. That's why I said maybe, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is that, they actually did look at the data for the first 3 preseasons, maybe even for the first 1 or 2 seasons that we're coming, and then, change something up at any.
Dude, I agree. Like some more items, like you said, a sensu bean would be really cool because I can't tell you how many times where I have, maybe 1 or 2 units that are really low health, but everybody else on the team is fine. And it's like, do I really want to waste a healing space for 1 or 2 units? Like, I don't want to let them die, but at the same time, I don't want to waste a healing space. So it's like, yeah, no, I agree. Like an item like a sensu bean, maybe you pop it and it just automatically heals like one of your units or something like that. That'd be super cool.
Yeah,
I think what they could do for that.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say what they could do for that is like maybe like for the adventures, like you get the currency for that. You can exchange something in the shop where you get like the sensu bean you were talking about, or like the attack buff, or
Dude,
they can make an event
cool.
where you grind for like TOP items. I don't know. But before I start, I just wanted to mention that like for me, the 2 things I think they need to add. For one, like the season has started, right? This isn't preseason anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't understand like why they don't have like the EX units. Like they don't have kits. Like it's strange. Like even like the grindable ones, like the Zenkai ones don't. And like I'm pretty sure they're boosted as well. Like the EX units. Like if they're able to be boosted for the mode, why don't they have kits? It's just like why. And I think the mode should be able to be played offline. Not offline, but like you should be able to test it out in some way, shape, or form. Because for one, the energy thing's an issue, but like you can't experiment at all. So it's just, I don't know, it would help not only get a better understanding of the mode, but also be able to playing it by yourself, which is like no kits,
like a test
kits.
battle.
Exactly, something
like a
like
training.
that. You do with a friend even
Dude,
with
that
a
would be
friend.
really
I feel like
cool.
that'd be fun. Yeah.
You could do races.
Like you get maybe one of your energies is like just a test battle energy, and you can just test something out without actually gaining any points or like going up in the battles. You just actually test. Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that being very, very helpful.
Yeah, or you could just use like your regular energy for the training stuff. Because one thing that you also said is like they didn't explain a lot. So one thing I still have to figure out as well is like how exactly the battle points are calculated. Because like right now I'm trying to focus on those units that could, debuff me first. Since I'm running regen, for example, Heat Dome Trunks is dangerous to me because he does like 40% extra damage and he kills my health restoration by 50%. So stuff like that. But still, like how exactly, what change? I also cannot try, okay, what if I attack this unit first? What if I attack that unit first? Because I only have this one shot. Shout out to Eminem. And that's my one chance to go. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, so I agree. Like some type of test feature would be really helpful. But yeah, back to kind of what ZVG was saying about it's built for whales. I can see that because when you go to look at when you're going at the very beginning to build a team. So you go into your team building thing, you see tier 1, tier 2. Obviously, you want to try your best to build some type of team in either tier 1 or tier 2 or a combination of both. And if you're a brand new player to the game, that's going to be pretty difficult. You might, kind of like Palmzor said, you might get one season where you get lucky that you just happen to have a team ready to go, but then the next season rolls around and you might not have anything. So I can definitely see how it is kind of built for whales, but I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. It's gonna be something where
kind of built for whales. It's
that's what I was about to say. It's the whales are gonna benefit no matter what. But yeah, I don't know.
Life is hard. Deal with it. Alrighty, so another thing that released on last Wednesday was the new co-op against Super 17. Iron Caner, have you played that at all? And how would you rate that compared to the full power Frieza one we had before?
Yeah, I think this co-op is a lot less cancerous than the last one, especially with Frieza having the endurance. I thought like because I miraculously pulled the Super Saiyan 4 Goku just off a single, so luckily enough I was able to play the mode. I didn't even realize that you got the Goku, the Ultra Goku like sparking power off of that, or the Z power. So I never even got him to full red stars. I'm like 1 star off, so I'm crying about that. But regardless, I personally like this co-op better just because I feel like it's a little more manageable. I'm an Android main, so I went really hard on the Android banner, so I have 17. Unfortunately, I didn't pull 18. So I'm able to, hold my own. It's just whether or not I can find a good teammate. But I find that even if I'm with another player that has a character that's high stars, I'm able to carry them a little bit since like my 17 is 7 stars. But I think characters that have like endurance, like the Frieza did, just made it a lot. It made it very difficult. Of course, that Goku that was like the big, I don't know, the unit that everybody used because it had the most like stat boost and all that. He could go through the defense with his main ability and stuff like that. Yeah. So with this, I think the co-op is better. 17 is my unit. I think that's the best unit. 18, she does the most damage, and she also has Dragon Ball. The possibility of that popping up as well as 17. But I think those 2 units are the ones you want to be using the most. And of course, there's the new recent Zenkai with the purple Super Saiyan 4 that you can use as well. But I recommend it to androids.
All right. I just want to say I love how Iron Kane was talking about how this co-op's better and all this, and then I'm just like, yeah, it's better garbage because the co-op is still trash. You know what I'm saying? But so I haven't played the co-op, but I've watched Dugoat's video and seen the rants from Grisha and Dugoat on Twitter. And one thing I want to say is, why are they time getting I have no idea what the coins are called, but they're time getting those coins that you get from co-op. That is so stupid. And then the other thing is that the boost units are just, the whole concept of the boost unit is just so predatory, I would say, because like they make the co-op so difficult without them. I was watching the Goat's video and a Zenkai 7 Super Saiyan 4 Goku was doing nothing to the boss and whatever. And I'm just like, bad. Bro, like, it's that bad to where the boost units are just so over.
So what you want to do is
okay, Pam, since you know a lot about the co-op, I'll let you talk about it.
Well, I've played it. I play it like 3 times a day because I want those those big coins, and I have the same gripe that you have. It's like, dude, I need 300 of those to get all the 30 equip spaces. Why do you time gate them? Do I have to play it for over 3 months just to get that? Which means I can't even get anything else, like the equipment awakening for the androids equip, for example, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or the Broly card sleeves, which are also like takes me 3.5 days to get. So that's like, come on! I would have grinded the crap out of this mode just for those equip spaces, but nah. I'm guessing they want to keep players engaged, quote unquote. But yeah, for these boost units, I'm also playing 17 mainly because he heals, which 18 doesn't. 18 can farm the Rising Rush faster with her green card though, which is definitely a plus. And please don't use Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He is really not. It says he's a boost unit, but it feels like he really isn't. And I think your best bets would be units like Green Goku Black, because he gets that constant healing with his green card. I'm guessing for the same reason you could probably use Zenkai 7 Super Saiyan Blue Goku, because he was good in a couple of co-ops. And I think Zenkai 7 Legends Road Future Trunks is also pretty good from what I heard.
Yes, absolutely. Those were the ones I was using because I do not have the 2 androids. So I first started off using the LR Blue Trunks. I have him Zenkai 7, and he did pretty good. And then I switched to Green Goku Black because, like you said, he has the constant healing. And he doesn't do much damage, but as long as you're popping those green cards and healing, then you're not going to die. But yeah, kind of like you said about the coins, the sad thing about the coins is that's basically confirmation now that Extreme Co-op is going to be around for a long time. And they're going to just permanently have to where Extreme Co-op, you get the daily coin every, on your 3 daily fights. That's how you get those coins. So yeah, the sad part about that is it's basically just confirmation that Extreme Co-op isn't going anywhere.
It's weird, man. Like they pick these things that we already say we don't like, and then they double down on it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't really understand. Like, it's not that I absolutely despise it, but the average person is not a fan of it, right? Like, I don't really care. I just get my dailies done, and I'm like, all right, cool. I got my dual coins. I got extra CC, whatever, maybe like 200, 300. It's not like it's a crazy amount, but I mean, that's how I've multi-Z-powered a lot of units, so I can see the value to it. But to then double down, make it harder, and have very similar rewards or exclusive rewards like the Broly sleeves, which doesn't really matter. That's
and
just
also,
an aesthetic thing.
PvP messages, there's like 5.
Again, see, I don't really personally care. I use the same one almost all the time. Like I have one troll one and I have one serious one, but that's it. I don't use any other ones. But it's like to do that, I don't understand the doubling down thing. It does bode negatively that they're definitely going to put really high end stuff in that shop. And like Goresh constantly mentioned, the adventures getting rid of like you no longer get the Zenkai Soul adventures and stuff. That's definitely Zenkai Souls are going to start popping up there. They probably more than likely, I would bet they're going to take them out of the dual coin shop, the natural one, and put it into that. Just knowing how Legends does it.
Either that, or they might just have like they do it with the rush medals, you know, where they have like an exchange where you can sell one of those big coins for like 5,000 small ones or something.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that too. 100%, yeah.
And then
it definitely wouldn't be 5,000.
Yeah.
God, if it was 5,000, I'd be down, dude. I'd be in. Let's do it. Yeah, I'll run this every single day. Like, just give me 5,000.
I have a theory for what Goresh was talking about. I actually have a theory for that. So what Goresh was concerned about was, like Brad said, they took out the Zenkai adventures from the Extreme Co-op. And my theory for that is because, so you still get those Zenkai adventures in the lower difficulty co-ops, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe. Okay, so
yeah, as far
I think what they're trying to do there is they know everybody is doing their every time the day resets and they do their dailies, everybody's doing the extreme co-op. So I think they want to incentivize people to still play the lower difficulties because I don't know because I haven't tried, but I guarantee if you go into the lower difficulties, it might be harder to find a match maybe. I don't know. So maybe they're trying to just incentivize people to play the lower difficulties still, or I don't know. That's really the only thing I can think of.
People don't want to play it. Like, it's just not a fun mode. I think we can all acknowledge. I haven't talked to a single person that says I love co-op. Like, genuinely haven't talked to a single person. Even people who only play PvE and don't play any PvP at all, nobody likes it. And then Legends is like, well, we're going to make you like it. And it's like, I'm just not going to play it. Like, that's it. Like, I'm just not going to play it. It's not going to make me like it. The way you make me like it is you make the mode better. That's it. I'll play the PvE co-op that you have sometimes in story. I'll play that all day long. I got no problem with that. If they gave me that where I don't have to play with other people who bring like 100% units and it's like, bro, you could just click auto. Like you could literally just click auto. I don't know why we had this conversation 2 years as this damn mode came out. Like I don't understand. But either way.
Well, like you said, they're doubling down on it and it's like the premium. So in my opinion, the premium reward is that definitely. I was just gonna say the premium reward is that Awaken Android equip and that is a very good equipment, and the only way you can get it is playing the extreme co-op every day.
And so managing it too. You need to win.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, so it's like like ZVG said, it's almost kind of predatory. It's like
it is,
and especially newer players that don't have the boost units that it puts them in the position to where, okay, anniversary's coming up, but I have to get this Android equipment. So the only way I can do that is if I summon on the 17 and 18 banner. It's definitely kind of predatory in my opinion, but I don't know.
Because what they do is they made the boost units, right, and they put like things that you want in extreme co-op, and then when you realize that you can't beat it without the boost units, you're gonna be like, damn, bro, I should really summon for this 17 and 18 man, so I can beat this extreme co-op to get these rewards from the shop and whatever. And then that's what happens. So that's how they structure it. They know exactly what they're doing with this extreme co-op.
Well, yeah, and I understand them needing to like promote their stuff. I totally get it. Here's a solution. You give normal units a lower boost, that's it. And the newest units have a slightly higher boost. Not their completely different god tier in this mode. Like if you when you run in like that Super Saiyan 4 in the previous one, I was using like GT Vegeta, 14 stars, I got over 1200%. And I'll get matched with like a 2-star Super Saiyan 4 Goku that has like 300% or whatever, and he's doing like 4 times my damage. And it's like, this is absurd. Like, what's the point of me having a 14-star unit? Like, capped out, good equips, all this stuff, if I could just get this 2-star random unit. That's where the F up is. That's where it feels predatory to an extent, right? Like
they should just give Shallot a really big boost. Shallot's
he should be a boost in everything. If they want to promote him, he should be a boost in everything ever. Even if it's a slight boost, but enough where you can get by using him, he should be. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Because then that makes it to where the free-to-play players actually feel welcome to try extreme co-op, you know? Or not even free-to-play, just brand new players. If you're a brand new player, I guarantee you're not getting that extreme co-op done.
But I also have bothers.
You're not.
Go ahead, Iron Kane.
I was gonna say what bothers me the most is they have like expanding equipment, and like that is so rare, right? Like I can count on like my toes the amount of time they've like included that into the game. And I always go for that immediately, and I can't. I like it. What you're saying, Paul, it takes you like 3 months if you want to get like the 30 slots. Like it's insane.
100 days.
And as an Android main, I have to choose between that or the Awaken equip. So it's like, what the hell? Is that going to be in there forever, or is that a limited time thing? Like, who knows?
And you know what's messed up? That actually reminds me. So in one of the last video and stuff, they literally mentioned that they couldn't add, or Toshi said something about how they couldn't add more equipment slots. And boom, here they finally offer them, and the only way you can get them is by doing extreme co-op. I don't know. It just seems weird.
Dude, so you know what's funny about that, bro? You just like the amount of lies that what I'm not even gonna get into it, bro. Like I'm not gonna get into it. But yeah,
I'm right. Didn't he say something about they couldn't add equipment slots?
He was like,
they offer some, and you have to do extreme co-op. It's like, I don't know, it's weird.
Well, and you guys got to remember, Toshi's not completely held liable for that, because maybe he has an idea, he has a vision, and then he says it. He's like, cool, we're gonna totally do this, and then his higher ups are like, yeah, nope, don't do that, and he's like,
yeah, crap. That's true.
Like that's.
I think a lot of people give Toshi. Sure. I think a lot of people give Toshi crap about stuff that's really not his fault. Like, he's really just like the face of Legends. He's not the one that actually controls everything.
Yeah, he's just a scapegoat. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also
it's definitely not his fault.
One thing I would just like to address is like this argument, Swift, that you constantly make, the new player argument. There also has to be some content, like there is some end game content that you can not do as a new player. I'm still not saying boost units are good, because even as a new player, you pull on that banner, you pull your 2-star Android 17, you're good, right? As long as you kind of understand the mechanics of co-op, you're going to be fine with that unit. And that's kind of shitty, because then it's not about skill or team building or, I don't know, knowing the game. It's just about having the right units. And I think that's what Goresh said a couple of podcasts ago, is just the concept of boost units in itself is also just inherently flawed. And he said, just make the boss dark type, which they did. Just remove boost units, which they didn't. And I guess they won't, because they want us to summon on the new stuff. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to like strategize, figure out ways for those that don't have them.
But okay, so obviously there's some back-end numbers we don't see, right? That tells them they should be doing that. But just from a realistic standpoint, who in God's name is summoning to just do co-op? Like, realistically, who is doing it? If they're not already summoning. Like, I mean, I want to actually know, because if it's somebody that you tell, oh, well, Gresh would, he's already summoning. All of us creators already summoning for it for a reason, using PvP. Who is just sitting there and they're like, yeah, I really want to do this co-op. I'm going to do it. Like, unless you were getting like 3,000 CC back for doing it, fine. You can make the argument. Then maybe I just get lucky with 1K and then boom, I get my 3K. Fine, that would make sense. It's not that. It's like, sweet, now I got Broly sleeves. Like, I had to go 7K to get this unit. Like, what's the point, Yeah. Again, there's got to be numbers we don't see that filter into that, and I totally recognize that. We get that comment all the time. It's hidden a lot because you guys like to use inappropriate words on YouTube as well, but we get the comment often. Like, in those comments tend to be a little more negative based. But it's like, we definitely know that obviously their back end is covered by doing this, and there's some numbers we don't see, some analytics and everything, but from a standpoint of it doesn't make any sense, and it's pissing people off. So if you're making an extra 5% revenue, but you're pissing off half your player base, is it really worth it? Like, is it worth it? Are they hopping in more and more to play your game if you're just constantly pissing them off and you're making 5% more? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, that's a very good point.
All right. I think before ZVG completely explodes, we're going to move on. And the next one is actually your topic. So we have a 3 weeks.
This one right here.
Yeah, we have a 3 weeks PvP season coming up. And they're giving 1.5 times the rewards, but that's really just because it's longer, right?
Oh my God, I'm about to explode on this one. So I love how we had 3 back-to-back double RPCs, right? And the next move that they make is to make a 3-week PvP season after that tedious, like 2 times RP in of itself is so tedious, because all of a sudden a bunch of players are now grinding the game and whatever, what I'm saying? So them bringing a 3 PvP season after that 6-week torture is just, it makes sense, but it's so stupid to me, because like, dude, like, PvP has been the same for the whole 6 weeks, and then they're gonna bring another 3-week season with the same meta, the same Saiyans, regen, androids, LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku annoying the hell out of everybody. It's just, now the increased rewards is okay. I mean, a lot of people before they realized that it was a 3 PvP season were like rejoicing about, oh guys, look, they increased the rewards, and then people were like, yeah, but it's a 3 week season. They were like, oh, that's why. But I really have nothing much to say about PvP. You guys already know my thoughts already. It's stale. It needs something fresh. The meta is boring. 3 weeks of torture is coming up, so I hope you guys enjoy the season. Swift, especially you, top 100 PvP guy. But yeah,
this is the inherent
that's pretty
issue,
much
man.
all I
Like,
gotta say.
Saying it's stale, the
That's all I
game
gotta
is
say.
like built to be stale. I know that sounds bad, but just the way it is nowadays, the second Zenkai's came out, it was built to be stale. Like, there's no way to say that. Because now we're locked in this system, and it's like there's kind of no going back. Like, we all thought, okay, you know, Gohan came out, they can fix it. They can just release a couple like that, get each tag covered, or release none of it ever again, and Gohan's the only one ever. Fine. But it's just not how it is. Like, it's just not how it is. So I don't know. Game is built to be stale. I don't want to be too negative about it, because obviously we're always negative about it, because it's hard to be positive about some of this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But what do you mean?
That's
like
not
3
really
weeks?
going in there.
3 weeks isn't that good? You get 2 weeks to relax and 1 week to grind. Just start late.
I mean, that is a
It's
positive
a good way to look at it.
honestly.
Yeah, you can look at it
it's
like that.
much better way to look at it. Hey, I can take a little break, a little breather, and then I can just go insane for 1 week. Like,
Well, I think obviously the main reason they do 3 weeks is because we all, obviously anniversary's coming up. I think they don't want anniversary to start in the middle of a PvP season. So I think basically as soon as the season ends is the start of anniversary, from my understanding. I could be wrong about that.
it's pretty close, like a day or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's why they did it, but they could have just said, "Hey, same rewards," and it pisses everybody off. So I am glad that they increased the rewards, but kind of like ZVG said, after 3 seasons back to back of double RP, and then now we got this 3-week-long season. I mean, it's not horrible, but yeah, I guess I can understand why they're doing it.
I mean,
Me with last season,
this
the
topic
big-
isn't really okay. never mind. Iron, you can go.
Oh yeah, my fault, man. No, I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say for me, last season the big incentive for me was to rank high was to get the Ultra Goku
Right.
Z power. But now that that's not here, I'll be honest, man. I really don't feel too enthused to play this season, especially now it being 3 weeks and we get a big whopping like extra 500 crystals. I personally don't feel too incentivized to play this season.
Well, because
to
for
be
the
honest with
Ultra Goku, wasn't it top 3K?
Yeah.
Okay,
I made
so
sure
is
to
there
at least place
any-
that.
Is there any specific reward for top 3K this season, or is it just 1,500 for top 10K?
It's just 1500 CC. Yeah,
For top
guaranteed.
10K? Yeah, so
Yeah.
I agree. There's not going to be an incentive for a lot of people to be grinding high this season.
Yeah, I mean, again, just take a break, come back for anniversary, pumped, maybe pulling the new unit and trying them out.
Yeah,
I'm already starting my
absolutely.
2 week break right now. I'm already ahead of you, Pam. Already ahead of you.
Oh, you're going to go for the return bonus?
Yep.
It's not a bad idea. I mean,
Which is crazy, right? Goresh said that once, I think. It's like there should never be a reason for you to drop the game for 2 weeks.
yeah, no, I agree.
Now there is, boys. A free 1K CC in my pocket.
And
Is it
then
only 1K? And I'm,
No, I think you get more than
I think
1K,
it's-
don't you?
I think it's a 1.5K or something. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I think it's more than 1K though.
but I mean, technically you could do that, and then you come back and go ham for the last part of the season and just maybe still rank
Yeah,
high.
but
on
I
the
love
side.
having like such a high day count, because I'm at like 1,100 and something. Like, I love having such a high day count. I love that. Like, so I don't want to give that up.
Just to flex in bragging rights.
I mean, honestly, yeah, dude, my Z level is like 450. I'm like 447 or something. They're like, "Are you above 400?" And it's like, "Yeah, a little bit." Like on Twitter, it's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I'm
Tiny
below
bit
that
above
410, just a little bit, like 407, because story for me is such a chore that I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I replied to
Yeah, I
that
mean, that's
tweet
CC
and
in
I
your
completely
pocket, bro.
ignored what they said. I was just like, Red God Key unit when?
And I said never. Your tears
Oh,
are
yeah, I
too
saw that.
delicious, dude. Yours and Dr. Maul's tears are just too delicious.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with the 3-week season, but I can understand how it would kind of upset people after, like ZVG said, after the double RP 3 times in a row. But I don't know. I'm cool with the boosted rewards, and kind of like Palmsor said, a lot of people are just relaxing right now, and then once that last week of the season rolls around, everybody will start grinding again. So I don't know. It is what it is.
I mean, the equip's not bad, right? The equip that you get for
that
playing
last
No, the
day,
equip's
bro.
not bad. Equip's not
That last
bad.
day is gonna be nuts, bro. Like,
Yep.
if they announce like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, like 2 days before the season ends,
Everybody wants them crystals. Yep.
it's gonna be insane. I'm not even gonna. It's not even worth trying unless you're gonna go hard. Like, you gotta know you're gonna go hard.
It's time to turn on the game genie.
I'm gonna try and get an early start on that grinding if I can.
Yeah. So you don't have to
Just get up
stress.
to like, get up to like rank 1,000 right now.
Just get up
Finish
to
that
rank
up
1.
and just chill
No
back for a
biggie.
week. You're fine, no biggie.
Dude, you know Sif's gonna grind anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
That man lives the grind and
Does it?
breathes the grind, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but
Have you been playing since day one, Swift? Just a question off topic.
I started. Let's see. When did I start? It was like, I believe it was a couple months after first anniversary. So I started
That's
late.
wild,
Damn, bro, you were
We
late.
all got
You were late,
burnt
bro.
out like second anniversary. It was
You were
like,
late.
oh my god, you got like 8 months
Yeah.
left, and you'll get burnt out.
well, everybody burnt out.
I started when God Key. I started when God Key like very first started blowing up with like the blue Goku, obviously way before
Okay.
Zenkai. The blue Goku, the purple Vegeta that locks in, and then I remember it was like a couple months after I started, the red Rose came out, and I was loving God Key when I first
that was
started.
a good meta. That was a good meta.
Dude, I missed that meta, and then also the GT meta. I think it was like after Christmas one
Yeah.
year or something when Super
That
Baby
meta
2
was-
came out,
yeah.
purple Goku and red Vegeta. That GT meta was actually very balanced.
was very
looking
diverse,
back
too.
at it. Yeah, definitely.
Did we have Zenkais at that point? Did we have Fabu yet?
No, we didn't.
I think that might have been right
Did
when
we?
they started, but it was the premium Zenkai where it was like 20k CC for.
Yeah,
But I think
so
it-
not many people had it.
The first one was Beerus, right? Wasn't
Well,
it?
technically
Yeah.
speaking, yeah. First one was Beerus.
Yeah, red Beerus.
But
and
at that
OG
point, I
Red
mean,
Goku and all
nobody
them.
but Wales had that. Like, that wasn't like a.
Yeah.
You saw, like, if you saw a Beerus, it's like, what YouTuber is this? Like,
Yeah, or it's like
Do
two
y'all
stars.
remember when Garish dropped that Beerus video, bro?
Yeah,
And we were like,
talking-
oh my god, the game's messed up now, bro. Beerus says he was literally one combo in purple units, bro. Like
I mean, I remember
that shit
Dude, yeah,
was
he was a
wild.
monster.
he also dropped that video summoning on the Zenkai banner, talking about how crappy the Zenkai banner was.
Yeah, bro, we come a long way with Zenkais, man.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of
Yeah,
PvP, you also saw the notice in the news that they're gonna collect data for their anti-cheat system, or whatever you want to call it. They want to collect data against unfair use of third-party and whatnot. Have you noticed any difference in performance, and what do you think about it, Brad?
I've played a whopping, I think, 7 matches.
Nice, more than me, bro.
Yeah, I did like a video and a half, and the half was because I was trying to use a fun team. And you don't use fun teams in this meta,
Or ever?
but yeah, no, you just literally don't. Like, I remember when that started. Like, whenever Weiss was coming, he was like really good and everything. I was like, all right, well, I'll try Weiss like a year later, see how he is. We don't try that. But essentially, I mean, it's not. I don't notice a difference. Real, it's been the same every time they say it's better. It's better. It's better. I mean, I still come across 14-star units that it's like, there's no way this kid's been playing this game this long to have 14-star units. Like, they're like using strike cards across the field. And it's like, come on, fam. Like, I could obviously tell you're doing something. So I don't think they've caught everybody.
10
but
GGs.
Maybe I just got some bad ones. Yeah, and they have like 4. And it's like, bro, how you got these 14-star? You have 4 GGs. The game's been out for almost 3 years. Like, all right, yeah, I got you, bro. But
I've
who
seen your
knows?
prof stream. In prof stream, he's faced a lot of 14-star roses and especially for Goku.
Yeah.
So I feel like they haven't gotten rid of the Octo people yet. But speaking of the anti-cheat system and what I think it's good that they're putting this notion forward. I feel like it's about damn time that they have addressed, making some sort of anti-cheat system. Now, will it be good is a whole different story. But the fact that they're taking, initiative on trying to build one is actually a very positive thing from them. I will give them that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
at the same time, they have to find. I want them to take their time with this so that when it actually comes out, it's actually a good
Yeah.
anti-cheat system. I want it to be, because I don't want it to drop one day, then the next day, hackers already figured out how to bypass and whatever else. I want it to like be actual good anti-cheat system. Now, obviously, it's not gonna fix everything, right? Because it's not gonna be perfect and whatever. But the fact that they're aiming to build one and getting data and whatever else that they're doing to try to build one is a very good sign. So I will commend them on that. But please, if you're watching this, take your time with it, make it good, do all the coding and whatever else you need to do, and then just release it like that. So
Yeah,
That's all I
we're
gotta
3
say
years
about
in,
the
bro. I can
NPC
wait
system.
another 5 months. Like it's cool.
I mean, it's always probably going to be a cat and
36
mouse
months
game,
in.
right? Like,
100%. It's
put-
always going to be. You're never going to solve everybody. Like,
Yeah.
especially not the first time out.
But
Like,
what's crazy
this
is
is going to be a 6-month process.
And unfortunately, that's every game too. Like that's any game that has online play, any game with PvP. It's always. I mean, look at Call of Duty Warzone. Look how much money that company makes. Look how big of a company Activision is. And to this day, they still can't stop certain types of cheaters. So it's kind of one of those things. Like as a gamer, we just have to accept. Like there's always going to be cheaters, but. Kind of like ZVG said, I do hope that they take their time with it. I know they mentioned some type of PvP performance issues. So, my hopes is they can somehow, make this anti-cheat system very good, but at the same time, not have these performance issues that they mentioned. But I'm sure it's tough to do. It's definitely not easy to do, that's for sure. So.
Speaking on that, Swift, have you noticed any performance issues? I think Noctis has been the first one to talk about it, and I have
Honestly,
no idea. I have no clue, but I was trying to get your opinion on
I've
it.
been playing PvP every day. I haven't noticed. I mean, I'm just being dead honest here. I haven't noticed too many differences. I mean, obviously, I still run into laggy matches. I think I ran into a draw hacker the other day. I mean, there's still people out there cheating for sure. I think the anti-cheat system that they're talking about is they're kind of working on it. It's probably still in development.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's actually been released yet, but
they said that they collect
I
data.
haven't noticed. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I haven't noticed too many differences. I know Noctis said he's noticed some things. I think he said he had a buddy that noticed some things, but me personally, I haven't noticed too many different changes. But kind of like you said, I just hope that whenever this does get implemented, I hope that it's obviously good and there's not too many performance issues. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Pomsor?
Yeah, so Noctis has an S20 Plus, which is not exactly a crap phone, right? And he said he has a bunch of frame drops. I mean, for me, I think most of my matches I forfeited instantly. I don't know if you saw that video, but I needed to go down to battle rank 30 for science. I feel like I had a lot of laggy matches where I don't know if it's the performance or if it's just the other person playing on a potato. So it's really hard to tell.
Right.
But one thing that's crazy is that one of my mods actually encountered a cheater today who had 8,240 RP, 7 GGs, and he made him disconnect. So my mod, my buddy actually lost 100 RP because the game said, play in an area with better connection, dude. And he told me he did not get kicked out of his Wi-Fi. Nothing happened. So yeah, this is also still out there.
I think that's one of the rarer hacks in the game, right?
It is.
Because
That's actually scary,
I've seen it, I've heard of it before, but it's never actually happened to me. But I've heard of it and seen a couple people talk about it. So I feel like that's one of the rarer hacks in the game. But the fact that that hack is in the game itself is, imagine if that was on a wide scale thing, bro. Like,
dude,
that's messed up. Especially and I'm not trying to talk about me, but yeah, somebody like me that I might have a day where I'm trying to go for top 100, and then boom, this guy makes me forfeit. This dude makes me DC, and I lose double because obviously everybody knows when you DC, you lose double RP. So something like that is actually very scary.
One other hack that I've seen pop up a lot, I've seen on Reddit and on Twitter too, is the infinite switch hack.
Oh yeah.
But the people using it haven't really been. Yeah, I've seen a hack pop up often recently, and another thing
I think
too.
Prof ran into that.
You know the people that can make the loading screen not load. I don't know if you guys know about
where it's infinitely
that
just loading.
Yeah, that shit is unbelievably stupid because what they wanted to do is to back out.
Yeah.
And then they get the win, right? So, and eventually you're gonna give in because no one wants to watch your screen for 10, 15 plus minutes just infinite loading, right? So
no, I've had times where I sit there and wait for them to back out. I've done that before.
I've done it too.
I'm not gonna lose double RP. I'm not gonna lose it.
And you're wasting their time.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I've done that before where I'll just sit there and wait it out because I never disconnect if I can. I do my best. I try not to ever disconnect on anybody for any reason.
Makes sense.
So does the reporting feature actually help at all? Getting these players
No, it doesn't. It's been 3 years and the report has never done anything useful.
It does. Hold on. It does, but it takes time. It's not something that's instantly. Let's say somebody's out there draw hacking. So The problem with Legends developers is if, let's say I run into a draw hacker and I report them, they're probably going to report me too to make it look like maybe I was the one draw hacking. So the problem is Legends developers don't know who actually is cheating. But over time, if this dude's out there draw hacking against, let's say he plays 10 matches and he draw hacks 5 of them, and those 5 people all report him. I think over time, as he gains more and more people reporting him, then that's when they start noticing. But it's not an instant thing. It's not like you report them and they instantly look at it. But I think it's like something that just takes time.
Speaking of that, Swift, I think Nazarachi is the one who brought it up a couple. I think it was a year ago or so where he was like, the way how the report works is I think it's an AI doing it. So you have to pass a number of reports for the game to actually like take you out of the leaderboard. I have no idea if that's true or whatever, but I feel like Nas has brought it up before in one of his previous videos or on Twitter or something where it's like it's the AI doing it. So you have to pass a number of reports for it to actually have an effect. So I get what you're saying, but at the same time, because it's AI controlled, someone could like report, someone who's innocent and then they get, reset, right? Because they're actually not going in and like doing it. It's an AI doing it. So there's a lot of ways people can mess up another person's experience with that. So
yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I think it takes like, I don't know what the specific number is, but it probably takes a certain amount of like reports for the situation to get looked at. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? It's tricky. Like I said, I don't think the report system is something it's not something that's instant. It just takes time and a certain amount of reports, but probably a system that could definitely have some improvements. But yeah, that's not my job, so who knows?
Easy to say, right? Not my job. Lul.
And I'm sure it's not easy. And in the defense of the Legends development team, I guarantee it's not something that's easy to do. So
it's not. Like, especially if both people report, I guess it's, pattern detection and all that stuff.
And I guarantee that's what the cheaters do. If they know that they're cheating and they know that you're probably going to report them, they probably just report you to make it more difficult for Legends to see actually what happened. So
yeah.
I wonder if they could implement a system where like you submit a clip of like the actual match. Like I don't know if any other mobile games.
That's
do that.
what I would like, because I have many times where I catch cheaters on record. Like I actually record the fact that they cheated. Like I wish there was a way to send them that.
Yeah, but that also means
it was like yes.
That would also mean that they would have to have
4K.
enough people to actually look at all those clips. And
Yeah,
I think
that's
that
true.
I think that
like who would actually sit down and look at those clips? Like I wouldn't want that as my job personally.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
but
also, I think that many people think that the development team is bigger than it probably is.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Or Rhyme say that it's like a small team.
Yeah,
I think COVID affected them too. So.
exactly.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I think it's time to move on to our last segment before the questions, and that is the play of the week. We introduced that last week. Let us know in the comment section what your thoughts are. And the winner by a landslide is the triple GT kill by Woody. So let's have one more look at that.
Oh, Woody.
Yes, Woody.
Woody, okay.
So let's have one more look at that video.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
You remember
one.
this one?
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
With the,
I haven't seen it before. Let's see.
I think that was the perfectly timed tap punch too, or tap blast.
Yeah, the tap shot.
Bro.
Right as he gets paralyzed.
Bro.
And there's number 2.
Oh no.
It's like a slaughter.
Yep. And number 3. So first winner of our play of the week, Woody, thank you for your submission. And he also won by a landslide, which is, 86.9%.
I think the top shot is what I think the tab shot is what like sealed it for a lot of people.
The tab shot was so funny.
That was some. I would be pissed if that was me. Like just at the right time. Like that's just too coincidental, bro. Like I'd be pissed.
Especially because he was actually floating to the side, and then the paralysis is what froze him. So,
yeah, dude, that I would be pissed, dude. Because normally you'd expect someone to tap shot when you're that low, right? So obviously the best place to like float, but because he floated, the paralysis activated, and then he just got screwed. That's so stupid.
RIP. So let's have a look. We have 4 submissions for this week that we want to have a look at. The first one is titled Perfectly Calculated Damage. So you can see here we have loading. There we go. We have Zenkai LF Piccolo getting clapped.
Oh, mono yellow team.
Yep, I remember that team.
Interesting.
But I actually wait.
This is the type of team somebody would run against me when I'm rocking God Key just because I don't have a red.
I would.
Yeah.
I would
too.
Okay, here we go. That was
I would too.
that's where we want to be at 253. So you see he's locked in with Fat Boo, but he has his hands full with something dangerous. Dude, look at this.
Oh no, you do not. No, don't. Dude, you never blast Piccolo at mid-range, bro. Like, you never do that.
And now look what
nonsense.
happens here. Pang!
Oh!
He sniped 1.6 million HP. We can have a look at that one
is
again.
crazy.
Wait, 1.83. Hold on.
Because that damage was...
Dude, Piccolo
Piccolo's
after
green
he
card
pops
is
the green
goated.
card,
Or not
yeah.
green card. Piccolo's blue card is goated.
Yep, especially since he used 2 green cards before,
Dude,
which both charge up.
It's literally the exact same damage, or it's 1,000 damage more than what he needed. That is crazy. That is some...
There you go. That's
That
like
is some
perfectly
BS.
calculated. So it's 1.837.
He
Yeah.
had 1.8 million health.
Yeah.
And he gets 1.838.
It did
Oh my
1,000. It did
gosh.
1,000 damage more than he needed.
I didn't
to.
even see that when I first looked at it. Dude, that's a really good catch. So thank you, Alberto, for your submission. Let's look at number 2. And as always, the
crazy.
community
That's
gets to
crazy.
vote. So this one's called 15 timer count match. Red rectangle man presses rectangle. Not sure, but Kadachi probably has an idea of what he meant with that.
Oh dear. Oh, combo drop.
Okay.
All right.
It's interesting how this is a short match, but still he's actually catching some
Oh,
hands.
is he gonna pop the blue card or something? Okay. Oh yeah, is that gonna kill from that range?
No way.
Nah.
Okay. He's gonna he's gonna catch him side step. Yep. Oh, and Vados has to come
And
in
there
here.
we go.
Oh,
And then he just
yeah,
forfeits.
he had no way on because Vados had to come in there. Either Vados or Khalifa was gonna die.
Yeah. Especially with
Damn, that
with
sucks.
that main ability close in reach. Well, actually he still had
Yeah,
10
that
counts
sucks.
to go. So I'm not so sure.
I think the dude panicked, honestly.
Yeah, he didn't have to forfeit
'Cause-
there, huh?
Yeah, he didn't have to because if he stopped into Vados, he would have only had one strike card, and Vados would have lived that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have only
And he
one
had no
strike card.
switches.
Yeah.
So thank you for submission, Kadachi. And now we're gonna have one from Luciferio, which I had to also mute the sound because.
My boy, Vegeta family man in the house.
All right, so
Gotta give
this clip
respect.
is called Lucy Boosie Gets
Gotta
His
give
Clutch.
respect.
Let's go. Okay, look at this. He has 20,000 HP left and gets Rising Rushed.
Dude, why would you rush? Okay, oh my god, why would you rush
He just
that?
tapped.
Dude, why would you rush? He had 20k.
Yeah, just tap punch, right?
Oh my god. He gets it, right? Oh my god. That
Oh,
must
no.
be ass. Is he gonna... Oh my god.
Oh, and he gets the LF.
Dude,
And he gets
honestly,
the LF.
And he gets the LF too?
Oh.
I would have forfeited.
That was hype.
I would have.
That was
I would
hype.
have DC'd. I would have DC'd.
Dude.
Okay, I would have thrown my phone off
That
that.
hurt.
Losing
Dude.
twice the RP.
He tried to DC. He tried to DC.
Let's have a look one more time. I mean, look at this, 20,700
Why would you
HP.
rush?
And he gets rushed?
Why would you rush that?
I feel like the enemy was just being cocky at that point. Like that was just a
Yeah,
cocky.
probably.
Either that's
Like,
Either
or
that or
they queued
he
it.
underestimated 21's damage.
yeah, maybe they
I have no idea, but-
queued it up already. They clicked all the cards because you could see I think there was no sidestep. So
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
possible.
so maybe they just clicked like
Yeah,
strike,
he
strike,
probably did
blast,
that.
Rising Rush, and didn't think that would actually be so close. But yeah, this is thank you, Lucy, for your submission. This is number 3.
And I gotta say, I give Lucy props for running Majin Vegeta in this meta.
Yeah, that ass.
Fair. And number 4, again, GT by Woody. And I think this
My
one.
boy Woody out here with the GT clips, bro.
Yes, sir.
Oh, against Android, let's go. Already the winner. Let's go. Kill 18.
Now look at this.
Thank you. Oh, that's death. Oh, I think he forgot that he nullifies
Pretty much.
cover change. Yeah, he definitely forgot.
Bonk.
And that's death. Yeah.
That's
my
a one shot.
No.
And now look what happens
that's
now. That was a sidestep cancel.
Ooh, that charge cancel.
That was a nice
that charge
play.
cancel.
Yeah, that was
that
very
charge
nice.
cancel. Ooh, that was nice.
Bam.
Yeah, I would have forfeited too. I would have forfeited too.
So that
So
was
basically, that
crazy how-
entire game was won because Super Saiyan 4 Goku nullifies that cover
Yeah.
change.
yeah,
Like, that was
I
basically
think the dude
turning
actually
point.
forgot. But why would you go to 18?
Dude, I
there?
forget sometimes. I forget
Why would you go
sometimes.
to 18
Maybe he
there,
didn't have
though?
them.
Why would you bring
Yeah,
in a
right.
green?
maybe he just switched out of 18 because otherwise I think he
Yeah.
probably
Yeah, he
would.
probably didn't have enough time.
Probably, because I was like, why would you switch to 18 there?
But man, that was such a
Dude, that
clean
play
play.
right there,
charge
that
cancel?
cancel, yeah, that was a great
that
play.
charge cancel was insane. Okay, that was
And there you
insane.
go. So that's submission
Yeah.
number 4, GT Zenkai by Woody. And as always, we want you, the community, to vote which one was your play of the week. Was it the perfectly calculated damage against Fat Boo? Was it the 15 timer
That
count
was
match?
that was dope.
Was it Lucy with his 20 with his basically 1 HP clutch, or was it Woody
Yep.
with the charge step cancel? Vote. The farm is in the description down below. And with that said, we are going to move on to questions. And the first question, oh, what a surprise, comes from Lucy Ferrio, so the one we just saw. And the question
Boy,
is,
Lucy out here.
what do you think will be the role for extreme and hero units in TOP? Personally, seeing that they changed Red Majin Vegeta's, or MV, yeah, Majin Vegeta's Z ability for TOP, I could see them tailoring the extreme units to either have higher percent buff or to have color buffs. For hero units, a perma buff on death would be an interesting concept. What do you think?
I have
Would be
no idea.
interesting if they had
I
a
have no
permanent
idea.
buff. Like, so, like, say you bring a terrible unit knowing they're gonna die. Like, you bring like Hero Nail, and you know he's gonna die the first match, but then it makes all of your other units like way stronger. That could be a thing, you know, or like even just buffs their strike attack by like 80% or something, like he would do his standard Z ability for heroes. You could do
I
something
could
like
see that being very cool, and the cool thing about that is, so let's say you just let him die the first fight, and then you just throw him on the substitution bench, and then as long as he can still buff the team, that would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep. I would like that.
You know what I'm
too.
saying? Like he dies, and you just take him off the team, throw him on the substitution bench, and he's still buffing everybody. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I also think that extreme units having a color buff is not so useful because most of the times you still want to play a full color wheel, and then the color buffs are not as powerful
Yeah, that's true.
because you know you have like so many different color opponents that I don't think like bringing just red and green units will be beneficial to you if you then run onto that wrong tile.
Yeah, that's very true.
But having them buff
I think it would be cool.
Go ahead.
I was just say I think it'd be cool in the future, like say like you know they did in PvP modes, like they had a TOP season where you could only run extreme units or you could only run hero units. You know, assuming they
Imagine.
have kits. Like
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be pretty
when
fun.
the kit isn't quote unquote scheduled for releasement.
Yeah,
That's literally what it says in the game, scheduled for releasement.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's move on to question number 2 from Steve. Do you guys prefer a time stop green or a charging blast armor one? And maybe you can explain a little bit why.
I
Alright, so for
personally, go ahead, CBG.
All right, so it's a hard question because in certain scenarios I like a times up green card, but in other scenarios a blast armor charging for a green card would be good, especially in at mid range where you having that green card is gonna put like insane pressure, you know, on the opponent. But then at times up green card can, you know, you can perfectly time a frame trap, perfectly see what your opponent is doing, perfectly time your attack. So I feel like the time stop green card is the one that you don't want most of the time, but there are some uses for, you know, a blast armor green card. But I personally go with time stop because you can do so much with that.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say I prefer time stop green cards, but I will say, like CVG said, in certain situations, the blast armor charging forward ones do work. Only, and this is the key point here, only if you can chain
Yes.
into other things. So,
Super Saiyan 4
if there is a
Goku.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a perfect example. So his green card, it does have blast armor. It charges forward at mid range. It can come in handy, but it doesn't chain into anything. So if it's a green card that you can maybe start a combo with, then yeah, that's good. But other than that, I prefer the time stop. You can, you know, pop a green card, stop the time for a second, and catch him in a sidestep, and that little strategy right there can make or break a game sometimes. So
Yeah.
I prefer the time stop ones.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, there are also a third category of blast cards, which are long ranged blast cards. You know, like Baby Hazard or Red
The
Revival
green
Cell.
card.
after his revival.
yeah.
Okay.
But those are long animations, so
are-
that's like high risk, high reward because like you can
Yeah.
chain. You can chain in the case of Baby. You can actually immobilize the opponent in the case of Cell, which is cool. But I want to time like if I'm in close range, that means I will have to use my main ability if I still have it, and I prefer the time stop.
Right. And then you got the AoE green cards too, but like you said, most of the time those are long animations, so it's once again high risk, low reward. Well, it's high risk, high reward, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of. I think the worst ones are ones like the LF Super Saiyan for Goku, where it's a blast armor green card, but it doesn't do anything of use essentially.
Yeah. And a lot of times those green cards can just help the enemy, like if they're running Super Saiyan Bardock or Vados or, even like a unit like Feet Coup, where every time he swaps in and out, you're buffing the entire team. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of those types of green cards, but who else has a green card like that? I think Purple Broly, right?
Yeah.
He does reduce ki, which is nice, but you're basically just giving the enemy a free swap
Yeah.
out, which, like I said, sometimes can help.
The only good one for that is Green Future Transforming Future Gohan, because he increases the sub count by
Ooh.
10.
Yo, that dude, that green card, bro, is so good. Like, it's the only, as promised, it's the only green card that force swaps that is actually, because it's like what a double the time they have to come back in. It's
Yeah,
so
20
good, bro.
20
My
timer
God.
counts.
I wish I got a, yeah. Imagine putting LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku on the back end for 20 timer counts. I would love that.
Hey, and then you can
Dude,
rush.
I wanted to get a Zenkai. If he got a Zenkai, hybrid would be insanely broken because he's also blast based as well, so he'd fit directly into the hybrid team. That'd be insane. Oh my god, that'd be crazy. But yeah,
Because
his
what
green
does
card is very
LF
good.
Super Saiyan 4 Goku have on his green?
It's just a force swap.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really like, what
It
does it
doesn't
do again?
increase
No.
timer. That's probably what he should have had on it. It probably should have increased timer counts.
Or like more. Okay, let me check real quick. I can check. I can check.
Yeah, maybe in the meantime, what about you, Brad?
What do I prefer?
Yeah.
Hold on, you're cutting out massively.
What-
Yeah, for green cards, do you prefer the time stop ones or do you prefer the ones that like charge forward?
It's like really blurry. I mean, I overall, it depends on what the after effect is to it, right? Like, that's the
Yeah.
thing. I mean, if it chains into something, I obviously prefer that. If it has like blast armor, whatever else. Like Jiren's a prime example. I love his green card.
Oh, yeah.
Like his green card's ridiculous. Reloading your entire
Gets his
hand.
Vanish back.
Yeah, it's
Jiren's?
absurd. Like old school Frieza, where he would charge forward the yellow one that came out after the second anniversary. Was it the second anniversary?
Yeah.
Third.
Yeah, because
first anniversary.
That was a dumb chain into his special.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
a
full power,
crazy
yeah.
green card for the time. Yeah, full power, not the OG one. I like those ones probably more. So like, I guess I would lean more towards run up because a good majority of them chain into something. So yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
run up.
That's a good point.
Time
Alright,
stop's not
so
bad though,
looking
by
at
any means.
LF
Different placements, right? There's times where I would prefer a time stop one for sure, but
Right.
Okay, so LF Super Saiyan for Goku actually inflicts the increased substitution count. He actually does that.
How much is it? How much is it by? I can't remember.
It's for 10 timer count, +5, and Gohan's is +5 for 15 timer count. So he
Okay.
does have it.
So
Yes,
it's,
have
yeah,
it.
that's definitely not horrible because that can
Yeah,
that
it's
can
horrible,
actually
yeah.
really come in handy sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think as we were saying though, it's like the ones that do that can chain into other cards and start a combo. Those are extremely more valuable in my opinion. But yeah, that's not bad then. That's not as bad as I thought it was then.
Alrighty. I'd say let's move on to the next question, which comes from Hazing. Yeah, you might know him. What does Legends have to do to keep players engaged long term? As it is, there are many periods of quote unquote, this game has no content comments from the player base. And if you could do whatever you wanted, what would you add to the game?
I'd add some modes to PvP in itself. As in, like, I don't know, like some special rules, like our Heavenly Sins has, special rules and stuff in their PvP. Like, I set up every week or something like that. Because
Yeah.
as one thing for me personally is the fact that PvP hasn't really changed all that much. Like, they tried to add in certain things with like the Legends Battle Royale and the Ultimate Battle, but those two things got dropped because they were just not good modes. I mean, they could have improved on it, but they just dropped it overall. And now we've just been stuck with the same, BR35 every season, BR50 top 10K for the past 2 years now, right? So I feel like if they add into like some special rules about like green units do less damage or something of those lines, or like EX only, you have to be like an EX sparking and a hero to a fire, something different, at least try it out, right? Because change is good, right?
Or at least
So
separate game modes. They could keep the same ranked PvP, and then they could have something on the side where it's like, some special rules to have some fun. Because like, let's be honest, everybody plays the game for PvP. I mean, there is those people out there that enjoy PvE, and even myself, I find myself enjoying it sometimes. But I would say most of the time, I would say the majority of the players play the game for PvP. So that would probably be the section and that they need to spice up a little bit. But yeah, I agree with ZVG. Some extra game modes would be nice.
On the PvE front, I feel like there's nothing that they can do to make PvE fun for most people. And it's not inherently their fault. It's just the way the game is designed. Because if we're going to PvP, right, we get to play real players and everything like that. When it comes to PvE, we're playing bots who are gonna PV you, have more cards, more key, all the other nonsense, and it's just not a fun experience once you play PvP. Like if you jump to PvE first and only that, then I could guess some people would find it fun. But for people that play PvP, try to play PvE is just a chore overall. And I feel like there's really nothing that they can do to make it super fun. I mean, it's not really our job to find a solution, but I feel like one of these days we should the community should brainstorm some ideas to make PvE fun. Because right now it's just looking like nothing that they do can ever make it fun for the PvP players of the game. But that's just my thoughts on what's PvE side.
I will say I want to see more raids. Like I feel like raids are something that the community actually enjoys. Like everybody comes together and we try to take down this boss, and I think there's a lot of opportunities for them to have raids that they don't capitalize on. I mean, what is it right now? We're seeing a raid like maybe once a month, if that. I mean, I think there always should be a raid going on. Like always. There should, like, when one ends, another one should start.
I think the big issue with raids is that it's literally just a glorified co-op. It's co-op but with extra rewards. The reason why people like raids is because of the 1KCC. Let's all be real here. No one's playing that nonsense if the 1KCC isn't in there. Let's be real. So I feel like raids aren't necessarily raids. It's just co-op with a better reward, right? I feel like an actual raid would be like, like in Xenoverse, how they have like the big apes or whatever, something like that. Even though Toshi said that they can't really add it into the game, it'd be pretty fun if they could find some way not to make giant bosses or something in Legends, and we just fight, the boss that way. But that'd be a crazy lag fest and everything. So I have no idea what they could do to make raids.
What we talked about earlier for co-op, right, where they try and sell you the new banner units. Raid is the exact same thing with the new LF units. So I think that whenever a new LF unit is coming out, there is a new raid where the LF unit is the most boosted unit. I think that's pretty much the pattern. It was for Kid Buu, it was for Rosé.
Yeah, you're right.
And so on. I think Future Gohan had that as well. And I think we haven't seen a raid since... Well, actually, there wasn't a raid for Super Saiyan 4 Goku, was there? I don't think there was.
Yeah,
I think it was just...
there was a raid. Yeah, I think there was a raid.
Yeah, there was, I think.
Okay, then I just forgot about that. But yeah, so I'm thinking that there's going to be another raid after the anniversary LF's drop, or LF. But yeah, I agree that PvE is not fun to me. But I remember Goresh saying that at one point, that actually the majority of the people don't play PvP.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, because probably.
Think about the numbers of how many people actually have this game downloaded and getting into top 10K. If like even 50% played it, you'd be fighting against like 100,000 people, like 150,000. The fact that there's only like 50K or something like that do PvP to that level, to that extent, right? That's why we're able to hit top 10K relatively easy still. Think about how it used to be. Like I could just hop on and play 10 matches, win all 10 matches, and I was like rank 50. It was like boom, good to go.
Mm-hmm. Easy peasy.
Yeah, if you think
only
about it, there's
time-
probably a lot of people that download the game just because they like Dragon Ball and they want to, play the game a couple times, do a couple PvE matches, and then they don't even touch PvP. So, I mean, that makes sense. What were you saying, Iron?
I was just gonna say the only time PvE has been like really, really fun for me is when there was like a mode, like way back when they had that full power Frieza mode that was like really, really like OD difficult. And like I didn't have the Nameku at the time, but there was a way you could like use these other units that you could like supplement instead, and you could still like with skill and a little bit of luck you could beat the event. I think maybe not making modes necessarily as difficult as that, but like somewhere close where events are difficult, the rewards are nice, but you could still, there are other units that are viable. Like, you don't have to have the one shining boosted unit. Like, there are other units that you can use to somehow, manage to beat the mode. And I think that's how they could make PvE interesting. Like having difficult tasks that you can still do with other units that are not, as new and shiny.
Kind of like the Try to Surpass Me event, but they need to have more of it. Like not just that one event. There should be like multiple events similar to Try to Surpass Me, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think TOP is pretty interesting. Like I don't know if they would incorporate like some kind of a raid thing with that, but TOP is cool. I think it's a nice concept because there is strategy involved. You can't just brainlessly like go in there. You actually have to plan. So I think that mode is cool. Maybe they could build off of that some more. But yeah, PvE, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for sure.
I think one thing that could keep players engaged, even though it doesn't really add anything new, it's just more of a quality of life feature. But if you could set up tournaments in game, so you don't have to use challenge, you don't have to use anything else, but you can just say, hey, I am creating this tournament. I mean, for starters, it could just be the most basic thing, right? Single elimination, and it has to be a power of 2, so like 2, 4, 8, 16, and so on. It does the brackets, and then you just get a code. You invite the players, or the players enter the code, then they can join it. You can set the rules, and that's it. I think that would massively boost the tournament scene. I think that would massively just also have just friends. Like I was running a tournament on my Discord, and that would have helped. And also just friends playing each other, or maybe we could have even used it for something like on 5.9, maybe even a league mode like this. And I think that could be pretty cool. It doesn't really add anything new in terms of how the game is played, but it just would make it massively easier to organize stuff.
Dude, no, I agree. That's a great idea. That could be something like a subsection in friendly battles. Like you open up friendly battles, and then there's like a tournament section or something. And then, like you said, you build your own bracket and either invite players or, somehow organize it that way. Yeah, no, I could see that being very, very cool.
I still don't know why we don't have a spectator option yet, but okay.
Yeah, there needs to be spectator in PvP. That's another way of spicing things up a little bit.
Because what if I can just log onto the game? I'm like, I don't even want to play. But then I see my friend Swift online and he's gone in. I could pop in and watch him play or whatever. That'd be pretty dope.
And then
even in PvP matches, like if I was grinding PvP and it just showed that I was on, like you look at your friends list and you see me online and you can go spectate that person. Yeah, no, that'd be very cool.
Yeah, I guess the one downside to that would be, imagine you see Swift playing. He's playing a semi-laggy match. ZVG joins. Swift is playing a really laggy match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Clash Royale has that spectator friend thing. I don't think it actually impacts the lag of the match.
It's Legends,
but yeah,
it's peer to peer.
Yeah, I probably will.
I mean,
as long as it would have to be implemented properly, obviously. But yeah, if it's not something that affects like the performance, then that would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
It's like when people say they want to have like team matches in PvP, and it's like, let me just have like one-on-one matches first, and then we'll try the team ones to where those work properly, and then we can move on to the team ones after that. It's because they don't have their own servers, essentially. I mean, like, it's been the issue forever. Backlogging off of like Google and stuff and whatever else. That's been the problem. It's just, we're 3 years in. I don't really think it's gonna change at this point. Maybe I'm wrong. If we can get rid of a lot of the cheaters, then that's fine, because then you get rid of a lot of this that's got to be clogging the systems down. All these people cheating all the time and stuff. It has to be. There's no way, because the game is constantly then trying to figure out who's cheating, and more effort goes into that. So if this whole thing they're working on turns beneficial, sweet, But it's it's already rubbed so many people the wrong way for like 3 years that's where I get nervous about it. Like once you become a meme for something, you're kind of just a meme at that point. Like I you know what I mean? Like it's pretty hard to pull it back. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have time for one more question, and that one's coming from Zero, asking what could be the collective drop rates for summonable ultra units in the future. For example, sparking units have a collective drop rate of 10%. And how many ultra units will they drop on first summonable ultra banners? What do you think?
Well,
1% for each. I think 1%. Yeah,
that'd be fine.
Yeah, me too.
So do you guys think that it would be a higher percentage than LF?
I mean, well, I think it'll definitely be
no.
high. It does be higher percentage. I'd imagine 0.5 would fit because I think they've seen the backlash from LFs over the last couple of years, and at this point they just can't change it. But now they have a point where they have a higher thing that they can do. It depends. I mean, if they're better than LFs, they just don't have all the shiny stuff. They could make that the whole 0.25 for the ultras, then bump those up, or they could keep them the same because technically speaking, they're different, right? Like it may be the highest rarity, but if they don't have an LF, you're summoning for that LF 9 times out of 10. They're not even really usable in PvP until they either get a Zenkai or you have them like 9 stars. So
Yeah.
It really depends on what they want to do. There's a lot of options they could take. I'd like to see it be they both get bumped up to 0.5, and then when it's like a featured banner, it's 1%, and then they,
Yeah.
I'd like to see that personally. Just I'm always confused. You can keep it lower, that's fine, I suppose. It doesn't matter, but it's always confusing when it's like people are gonna summon. You're gonna get more people summoning if it's not like the Goku coming out by himself. That was a horrible decision. Like. That was such a bad decision for that Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So when they make those kind of weird decisions, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, no, we're literally never gonna hit top grossing with stuff like that. Like, it's literally never gonna.
And another
happen.
thing to consider is the fact. So you look at how hard the grind was for this Ultra Goku. So like, yeah, he was free, but look how long it took to soul boost him. Like, I literally just got him soul boosted last week. So, I think a thing to consider with this is if they do have summonable Ultra units, there's probably not going to be as much of a grind.
Yeah.
So they probably will make it hard to like probably a really low percentage to pull them. But the other positive side is if you do pull them, you don't have to go through the whole, 1 or 2 month long grind that it takes to soul boost them. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it hasn't been that terrible for me. It's kind of sucked because they take a resource that's so limited and divvy it up. That's all that sucks about it. Because if it was just that's all it was used for, it wouldn't have been a problem,
Yeah.
But taking it and then putting it into like these TOP equips and putting it into like souls and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, bro, like nobody knew this was going to be usable. So yeah, I agree with you that if it's summonable, you're kind of paying for the convenience at that point, right?
If you get them.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, but
Do
I don't
you
know if
guys
that's
think-
LFs too, though. So.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like what could happen at one point once we have like a couple of ultras and let's say they have 2 ultras, I can see them being at 1% each maximum, but then they would probably take, let's say it's 2%, or let's say it's 1% in total. So 0.5% for each of those ultra units. I feel like they might actually take that 1% out of the sparking summon rate. So like 9% sparking, 1% ultras, and then 90%, all the rest.
Sounds about right, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because I don't think they're going to add it.
I was gonna.
Go ahead, Iron.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say, do you guys think since like the ultra units are definitely gonna be a lower rate, do you think they'll give more Z power to like kind of counteract that?
No, they won't. It'll be 600.
It'll probably be it'll probably be 600.
Yeah. I mean, they're also not.
And that's not even like down talking like Legends. That's just every mobile game ever that like they wouldn't change that up.
I mean, I think we had that question last week or a couple of weeks before. Should LF units get 999 Z power, or would you like that? And we're like, yeah, we would love that, but it's not going to happen. I think it's the same for, especially if the Ultra turns out to have the same, percent chance as an LF. Why would they give them more Z power than like the LF, which is also not good at 2 stars most likely?
I do hope that if they do have summonable ultra units, I mean, obviously I hope that it's a higher percentage than an LF, but at the end of the day, it's really up to Legends and how generous they want to be. But like we pointed out, if it is a summonable ultra unit, they probably won't have the grind associated with that Ultra Goku had, so that is definitely going to be a convenience part of it. But Yeah.
And then you
I
also
know,
don't
it's
get the
gonna be-
stars, so it's like it's a give
Right.
and take.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. I mean, they
Like you
could
get him
do
fully soul
something
boosted
similar.
right away,
I
but then
guess.
he's 2 stars.
They could do something similar, I guess. Like if they say they were to bump it up, because they did the 999 way back when, obviously, and say they were to bump it up to that for ultras, they would make it lower than LFs, like be a 0.1 or something crazy along those lines. If it was going to be a higher one, because then you got to get the whales still somehow, because then you have, it doesn't seem like much, but that cuts off 7 copies of a unit that you no longer need to pull, and that could be a lot of CC from a lot of whales when you add it up like that, you know? Like, it doesn't seem like much. You're like, yeah, well, it's not saving a whole lot. Saving, what, like 2,100, something like that, 2,400 maximum. But you add that up, and so that's like 5 or 6 to 7 copies of a unit that they're no longer getting revenue from. And maybe, you know, somebody like Goresh or something, that last one cost him 50k CC, you know, and he's going to do it either way. That's like 15 people who play the game not like Goresh summoning, and they've just completely cut themselves out of that now. And they already have a cheaper mobile game than most. Like when you look at the prices, CC is way cheaper than like Dokkan with Dragonstones. Even this Disgaea game I've been playing, like that the game's pricey, bro. Like a multi is like $50.
What?
So
Holy crap.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
Go back and
I've
play
actually
like
heard
the
that
City
from a
of
lot
Final
of people
Fantasy.
that Legends is.
It's so cheap.
Yeah, that's true.
I've heard that from a lot of people that Legends is actually like more generous than people give it credit for.
Bro, Nolar playing that marble game, it's like $75 a multi. Or like
Jeez.
maybe
Oh
like
my
2 multis.
gosh.
It's absurd. Like it's actually ridiculous. And you have these guys who are dropping 15, 16k a month. So like I understand where free to plays are coming from, but if they're cutting out of their bottom line and that cuts out, say it even cuts out, you know, $80,000 in revenue, which is a very low number. Like that's like no
In the total
Russian
scheme
truth.
of things, yeah.
Like say it cuts out like that thing of like, you know, and you cut that out every single banner, every single time, like that adds up massively. So that's where you pay the price as a free to play. That's just how it is. You know, you're paying it one way or the other. Either you're paying it by not getting the units, or, you know, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I would say that wraps it up for this week's podcast. And yeah, as always, make sure to check the description, not just to vote for your play of the week, but to follow all our creators on their respective social media platforms. Follow 5-9 Gaming on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the podcast, and comment what you think was your favorite play of the week. Anything I missed? You guys want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Yep. See you guys.
Peace out, guys.
See you
Peace
around.
out.
All right, we'll see you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye, everybody.
Deuces.
Peace.